And welcome back to the channel, everyone, with myself, David Millionaire Incorporated. Hope you've had a fantastic week trading. You learned some new things or implemented certain strategies and hopefully becoming a bit more profitable over time. Now, if you're new to the channel, I like to go over the pound yen Forex pair, just into a bit of a kind of breakdown of what actually happened, what you'd have looked for, and how it could have moved during the week. So if you're new, don't forget, guys, smash that subscribe button, join to the channel, especially if you've been viewing these videos on and off kind of thing. I'll greatly appreciate it. If you're finding value in the content I'm putting out, don't forget to smash that like button as well. Leave me a comment, say hey, I'd love to hear from you guys. Always like to say hi to the people viewing my videos. And as well as that, guys, just remember, these videos aren't financial advice or predictions of what the currency pair will do over time. I'll get to that in a second. These are just for educational and entertainment purposes only. So when it comes to Forex and trading and investing and things, do your own research. If you need personal financial advice, go seek out a professional financial advisor. So with saying all that, let's get into the video and see what is actually done. Now, as you can see, I've got this candle, like this arrow drawn here at the end of last week. So if you watched my video last week, I was hoping that this would have actually dropped down and retested this area of 152 price down the bottom here. So I'm going to actually delete this to clean it up a bit more because we don't need that anymore. So most of the week you can actually see is actually just kind of ranging. So where'd the week end? Where's the week start? So it started kind of just here, just on that area of kind of support. But as you can see, we've been in this bit of a range for almost 2 weeks now. So up until what happened on Thursday, where it actually just broke above and just shot off. So I'm going to get into that in a second, and I'm going to get into what I was personally looking at for the week and what I was looking for. So as I said last week, I was looking at it potentially kind of dropping down, potentially exhausting, and coming back down to that 152 area. So you can see here a lot of wicks at the top, and especially this one just here where it kind of came down, broke below that area. I was looking at support, and you can see the next candle was kind of exhausting. So it's kind of descending. So I was actually looking at it for a potential short. So I actually did take a short on that. Now I kind of broke one of my rules. I actually entered this just as a kind of close down the bottom here after that day. Let's go 40 pip stop loss, as we always like to do, and 80 pip take profit. And I'll get into why I broke one of my rules this week. So that's where it was. Now where I had my stop loss for this, because I just kind of let it run a little bit longer, was just above there. So I had a 100 pip stop loss, potentially looking at making almost 1.5 to 100 pips. Now, as I always say, you always want to have a trade for about in a ratio of 1 to 2. So risking 1 pip for every 2 pips you make. So as you can see, I broke away from that one this week because I was so convinced that it was actually going to drop lower, but it didn't. So I got kind of stuck in a bit of a wedge. So I'm going to jump back down to the 4 hour here and zoom in back to here. So you can see here kind of came up, couldn't break above this area here, and kind of just started ranging in this area here, creating that kind of wedge pattern. So you can see kind of lower highs and kind of higher lows as well. So we've gotten that kind of wedge, but so it's going to do a break to either the downside or the upside. I'm going to actually delete this trend line here as well, or line there, so you can actually see a bit more, because it ended up kind of breaking above and ended up respecting this area here, this area of support, which I drew all the way back here, but it wasn't a strong one because it had been tested and broken so many times. So I wasn't kind of convinced of that one anymore. But by the time that Thursday came around, and by the time that there was a speech, you can see it actually took off to the upside. So and this trade comes with a bit of experience in the actual trading and market. So the average novice investor or trader wouldn't have actually taken it. Probably best one to kind of sit on the sideline, wait for, I guess you could say, a retest of this area just here, where I was struggling to kind of break through, or even kind of a retest of, one second, this area just, I guess you could say, kind of here where it's a struggle to kind of break above. So that's what I'm actually looking forward for the week ahead. I'm actually looking forward to kind of come back down, test that area. But I'll get into that in a second. So delete that again. So you could have taken a trade off this once you can see you kind of held support there. Like I said though, guys, it was a very messy week. It was just a lot of ranging. So a decent week to just sit on the sideline for this pair and just wait. So could have taken it on that 4-hour close there. Let's go 40 pip stop loss as we do. 80 pip take profit. And you would have ended up with that trade there. And you can, if you remember, or if you've watched some of my videos in the past, I'm actually saying that I was waiting for price to get up to this 155, 156 area up the top here. Sorry, 155.50, 156 area up the top here, which it has finally done. It's probably taken a few months for us to get there, but it got there because overall, let's have a look at the daily instead. It is in that bull run, so it's just going higher and higher and higher. It's starting to kind of come off those parabolic kind of moves, or not parabolic, but quick moves up, and it's kind of getting those nicer kind of highs, lows over time. But so anyway, so that's what we're seeing. That's what we saw last week. As you can see, I was looking for that move to the downside. Just a lot of wicks, couldn't break above, and I was hoping for the downside move, but none. But yeah, so that's what we saw there. You could have taken it to, like I said, those highs just there, which would have given you that 2-to-1 quite easily. Or you could have taken it to this 155.50 area, which would have given you, let's see that, let's send this out there, 3.5 to 1, and quite easily 150 pips on that. But like I said, it's one of those moves which wasn't easiest to kind of take. So you would have been forgiven if you didn't take that trade. Like I said, I didn't. I actually lost out. But you can see now it's kind of struggling at that 156 area. Wasn't going to break above. So I'm looking for it to kind of come back down to test this area here, or even lower to this area of 155, 154.80 kind of thing. So let's just see what this pair does during the week. Like I said, it does need a bit of a retrace now. It has been quite bullish for some time, and it should kind of test that broken structure and broken support area. So it's going to either test that 154.80 or this 154.50 area. Let's just jump to the line chart here so we can kind of see if there's a decent area to look at. So most likely this 154.30 area, even potentially, or 154.40. So probably an area, excuse me, just in here somewhere that's going to kind of come down and test. Like I said, it's just very messy at the moment. Yeah, it's very messy, like in that area. So hopefully it comes down and tests that area again. So that's like literally the only trade a reasonable trade you could have taken this week. But in saying that, as I've said multiple times in this video already, it was just a messy week, a lot of ranging. So you kind of just want to sit on the sidelines when it starts doing that, because that's when you start making mistakes. And even saying that taking that trade to the downside from that daily exhaustion would have been a reasonable idea. Unfortunately, didn't play out. Just didn't have the momentum to kind of keep going lower. So yeah, so that's that. So as always, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button if you like the video, and I'll catch you guys again next week.